Hey, this is Joe from Citrus County Porch Life, bringing you the December 30th, 2024 AA word of the day. And the word for today is anonymity. And here is the quote: Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. And here's the commentary. Tradition 12 became important early in my sobriety, and along with the 12 steps, it continues to be a must in my recovery. I became aware after I joined the fellowship that I had personality problems, so that when I first heard it, the tradition's message was very clear. There exists an immediate way for me to face with others my alcoholism and attendant anger, defensiveness, and offensiveness. I saw Tradition 12 as being the great ego deflator. It relieved my anger and gave me a chance to utilize the principles of the program. All of the steps in this particular tradition has guided me over the decades of continuous sobriety. I am grateful to those who were here when I needed them. And right here it says that anonymity is the great ego deflator. Anonymity is anonymity and it's the great ego deflator because we are all anonymous. We're not out for world fame. We're out to become a new being through following the spiritual path of Alcoholics Anonymous, and to get rid of our anger, defensiveness, and offensiveness, as it says here. So this is a very important tradition. And this morning when I got up, uh, I'm not sure why, probably because I looked at something, but uh, a bunch of videos came on that were celebrating a person a person's sobriety, and these people happened to be stars, Hollywood stars, big stars. And they had their picture and how long they had been sober. Now that was kind of fashionable early in the 90s. I remember it because I had joined AA in 1991, March 4th, 1991. And I wasn't in the program too long where it said, I came across a thing at the level of the press and television. And they didn't have media like we have today. They didn't have YouTube or the internet when these guys got together and found all this. I mean, you're talking about 30s and 40s. So that was the guide rule, that you don't go public, that you're in the program. And now I don't know if this is being done without those people's permission, if they keep track of who's sober and then they put it on YouTube. But I would never do that to anyone. Anyone ever. I would never say that I saw them in a meeting. I just wouldn't do it. I really believe in the anonymity because it leads to humility, and the humility is the wellspring of everything in AA. So you can tell I get a little fired up about this, and I'm not trying to control the world. I'm basing this on the traditions of Alcoholics Anonymous, as is the commentator here. I mentioned before there was a famous uh, rehab place in Rhode Island. It was in Newport, in a mansion actually. It was a pretty nice place because I went to visit a friend there. And the director, he was a pretty intelligent guy. He was an alcoholic. He had a lot of sobriety, and he ran the place. And those were the days where I guess the insurance companies thought that once you went through a nice program like that, you weren't going to drink. And, it was like a 21-day stay and they paid for the whole thing. So people who operated those places became very wealthy. 21-day stay. You're lucky you get three now. And after the fifth or sixth anniversary of the place, the guy was on television. Now I looked at him. I had seen him at different functions, different meetings. I looked at him and I said, "There's something wrong with that guy." He took a cigarette, lit it, and then put the lit end in his mouth. He was smashed on a television show, and it eventually came out in the papers. So think of all the good that program may have done and all the goodwill that he had. It was destroyed by him being public, going public. He wasn't going public with how long he was. He so I can just see a lot of people saying, that program doesn't work. Look at that guy. He runs the place and he's drunk. So stuff like that works against AA. It works against our unity. It works. It's just not a good thing going public like that. And that was television, the level of television. And I'll always remember that. I don't know whatever happened to him, if he ever got himself cleaned up. I don't hold it against him that, you know, he had a slip. Many people do, but they get back. But to present yourself like that probably turned off a lot of people. And I don't know, it's not a good tradition to carry on. I would urge the people, if any of them see this video on YouTube, just to stop that, especially if they don't have the person's permission. If they got the person's permission, they can do what they want, even if it's against the traditions of AA, and we'll welcome them back. But oh my God, to put all that personal information about someone up that may not want it up there, it's just living their life. There may be a lot of people in Hollywood that go to step meetings, but you don't hear about them because they remain anonymous. Though I ranted and ranted because I really think anonymity, humility are so important to the program, and they just are. It's foundational. And when you lose the anonymity and the humility, then you get people being what they aren't. And this type of program does that. You have to have rigorous honesty. So, well, that's my take on it. God bless you. Have a safe and sober December 30th, especially tonight. I was so happy when I made it through my first New Year's Eve and not drinking. I had been sober since March 4th, and I didn't wake up with a hangover. I used to have some terrible hangovers. Terrible hangovers. And of course, I didn't blame it on the drinking. I blamed it on, there might have been something wrong with that Hamburg sauce that they made, or the meatballs, or maybe it wasn't hot enough. There's a bug in there. It's making me sick. I'm throwing up. Of course, it was the alcohol. So I don't ever want to go through that again. So God bless. Stay safe, stay sober, and we'll see you tomorrow.